POV, you stand on the sun-baked edge of the Nile, where Egypt's story begins. Civilization along this river started around 310 BCE, when Upper and Lower Egypt united under King Menes. From then on, Egypt evolved into a pharaoh-led empire shaped by religion, conquest, and monumentality. Pharaohs were more than rulers, they were gods on earth. Their commands carved kingdoms and built pyramids. But Egypt was also defined by its wars and border defense. The Nubian was Egyptian pharaohs fought south to control Kush Nubia for its gold, cattle, and strategic trade routes. During the Old Kingdom, Egyptian armies marched in tight formations along the Nile's cataracts. By the Middle Kingdom, under Senusret 3187-1839 BC, military campaigns deep into Nubia secured Egyptian influence for centuries. POV, you stand in scorching Nubian sun, a pharaoh's chariot in your sight, steadily declaring victory and tribute. Gold, ivory, and men for Egypt's armies began flowing into the empire. The Hyksos invasion around 1650 BCE. Foreign rulers called the Hyksos entered Egypt, taking over much of Lower Egypt. They brought new warfare, the chariot, the composite bow, and advanced bronze weaponry. The Egyptians adopted these technologies, rebuilt their armies and temples. Years later, a pharaoh named Amos I expelled the Hyksos, reunifying Egypt and launching the New Kingdom era 1550 BCE. The New Kingdom's expansion Egypt became a regional superpower, expanding north into Palestine and south into Nubia. Under pharaohs like Thutmose III, called the Napoleon of Egypt, Egypt secured its empire with dozens of military campaigns. At the Battle of Megiddo c. 1457 BCE, Thutmose III used complex strategies and siegecraft to defeat Canaanite coalitions. POV, you're in the dust of a battlefield Egyptian chariot's wheel. Archers line up, campfires burning with captured enemies. Victory meant control of trade and tribute. Enriching Egypt further, Amenhotep II and Ramesses II continued this military tradition. Ramesses II famously faced Hittite power at the Battle of Kadesh 1-7 for BCE. It was one of the earliest recorded battles with detailed tactics and peace treaties. Though the outcome was a stalemate, it led to a landmark peace agreement, preserved in temples like Abu Simbel. POV, you witness chariots clashing at Kadesh, smoke and dust rising. A treaty is carved in stone Egypt and the Hittites, now allies. Decline and external threats. By the late New Kingdom, Egypt faced internal decline and foreign threats. Libyans, Sea Peoples, and Nubians attacked its borders. Pharaohs like Ramesses III repelled invasions in the early 12th centuries, but resources were stretched thin. Political instability, economic weakness, and regional revolts created an opening for foreign dominance. In 525 BCE, the Persians under Cambyses II conquered Egypt. They were followed by the Greeks under Alexander the Great c. 330 BC and later the Romans in 30 BC, ending the Pharaonic era. The military legacy Egypt was solidified its unity and wealth. They protected Egyptian identity and inspired monumental art and architecture. Tombs, temples, obelisks. They also shaped later military traditions across the Mediterranean, from chariot combat to diplomacy and treaty making. POV, you walk between gigantic columns in Luxor Temple, names of pharaohs and victories carved in hieroglyphs. Their empire fell, but its memory endures in stones and stories. Thank you for experiencing ancient Egypt's wars and battles. Comment which battle you found most fascinating: Megiddo, Kadesh, or Hyksos Rebellion. Subscribe to Povshul Sid